Yes. Okay, fine.
Yes. Wait, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on. So, welcome everyone. Now, this is a very, very special session that we have organized today, and it is question and answers, particularly with Shruti Sethi. The reason why, because here we have one person who is talking about her own personal journey, and there's so much for each one of us to learn. Times are changing. When you have a disease like cancer, and you have, so young, you have a yet life to live, and at that time, there are so many suggestions, there are so many things that happens, so you go through even mental and emotional, different time, and in that she found the ray of hope, and found her calling, and finally she's thriving. So we would like to start asking a few questions. First question is that what was your mental and emotional status when you heard first time that this happened to you?
Dr. Rupasha, I was completely, if I say now, I was completely devastated. I didn't know what to think because, as you said, young age, often think that nothing can happen to us. This drastically, I was thinking maybe it might be tuberculosis, but never thought in my dreams that I could have something like cancer. So I was not it was not acceptable to me that time, that when I heard the word cancer, I was just not able to accept it. So emotionally uh, I was like, I just really wanted to run away. I didn't wanted to face it. I didn't wanted to face any questions from people. I didn't wanted to even face doctors, because as we hear the word C, like cancer, we always think of chemotherapy, and we see that, we hear that, we see in the movies, or we see other people going through that their hair will go, well, you'll have hair fall, and you'll go so weak, and you will also suffer some for some from other diseases, or you might never recover also, right? After one cancer you can have another cancer. So all these questions were in my mind, and I really was just, and that time I was absolutely alone, and I didn't know whom to speak to, what to speak, like with doctors to go to. So I had to find that one particular night. I was like, I thought that let me just sleep over, and maybe everything will be okay the next day. But that didn't happen. Yeah,
Yeah, just in a second, like the whole world comes crashing down.
absolutely.
Then the carpet is pulled completely under our feet. There are also
Yeah.
stages like, why me? Did you have a stage like this, asking God, why me?
Oh, totally, totally. Because, that time I was going through a very emotional time. I mean, I was having a very difficult time in my relationships. My marriage was, I was staying alone. My marriage was breaking up. My store, I had a store. I had to really shift places. And, I was in all that scenario, I was all alone. My parents lived in America, and I was trying to be strong. And that moment when I realized that it's cancer, and I was like fighting with God, that why this time, like, it could have been other time, but I'm already going through so much. Why has this come into my life? What is it teaching me?
Absolutely. But there is a book that I read many years ago. It is called as Blessed by Illness. And I found it very interesting. And my perspective for every disease is different now. For you also, probably that is the turning point of your life.
Yes, yes. I think, as I always tell, that cancer, as I look now, was a blessing in my life. Not only it changed my habits, it changed the way I'm thinking. It gave me my motto in life, my reason to live now. As you know, my purpose of life is given to me, that we all want to help people. Always am out and helping cancer patients and want to do so much. At least, if, even if we can change few people's life, if that moment of satisfaction is just amazing. That's, yeah.
Absolutely. And then, how did your plant based journey also start? And you had certain difficulties at that time to get going on that?
Yes, as humans, we have certain taste buds. So I loved my milk, I loved my cheese, and being a vegetarian, it's so difficult to give up dairy. For few days, for 5 6 days, when I went off dairy, I was sort of, my body went through a shift emotionally also. And even there was some, we have these symptoms where body was like, going through. And that time I was like, okay, if I have to do something, I will do it, and will do it lovingly. It's not that I want to do it forcefully. Otherwise, if you do anything forcefully, things don't really shape up or give you good results. So that time, actually, listening to experts like you, and more other experts, when you go and when they tell you, okay, this is the reason why you should give up dairy, or you should go on plant based, and then when you reason out. So I think the main thing is, what I always say, that don't just go behind anything. Ask yourself why you want to do it. For me, that was obviously my question of life and death, but also I reasoned out. I said, okay, I'm going to start for few days and see how my body responds. Took those very small steps. It is difficult for anybody, and I mean, any habit forming thing, it is difficult. So for plant based journey also is wasn't easy for me. I always thought that being vegetarian is plant based, but then I had so many different notions. Giving up butter, ghee, how do you make your food, क्या use करेंगे, that those all questions were coming. But slowly and gradually, one step at a time, one day at a time, I took and started experimenting with lots of nuts, seeds, and all, uh, talking to experts and all, how they have transformed their life. It became easy, and now it's more easier because, like, exposed like these people who are much more aware, and there is so much of spread of veganism and spread of plant based. So now it's much easier to convert, I feel, because there are a lot of recipes. You keep doing all these shows every Wednesday, or we have like health coaches like me, so many plant based coaches who tell you, okay, these are the basics, start with these. So yeah, it is not, and nothing in life is easy, I feel. I think it's your way of thinking, and the way of you doing one step at a time will make a difference.
Were your family members were worried about you going on a plant-based diet at such crisis time?
Actually, not very much. My mom all knew about this. So if my immediate family members know, some of the family members or some of my friends, what will you do without dairy? How will you live without dairy? You're a vegetarian, where will you get your protein and calcium? I, any which ways, still till now get these questions. But actually my parents were quite supportive, and that's why I also feel that it was very easy for me to uh, follow this lifestyle, because they were open minded about this. So I'm very blessed to have parents and family members, like, they supported me.
While going through your treatment, you think plant-based diet also supported you?
100%, 100%. Because with the treatment, already your body goes through so many changes. Your digestion system breaks down. You also don't sleep better. Endocrine system breaks down. So many other system break down because of these chemicals going in your body. So plant based food helped me digest food better. Also, this those nausea and the other things which like the paining of the joints or and bones, that all became smooth. Why? Because I did try. I was on like a proper vegetarian diet on beginning of my first two chemos. After second chemo, after during the second chemo, I could started actually going on a plant based diet. After 3 4 chemos, there was a very smooth recovery.
Understood. They
So
take
I
sometimes after chemo, otherwise it takes a few days to just feel better.
absolutely, and even after the therapy ended, I completely was recovering so much faster and better because of the food. Nutrition plays such an important part. Yeah.
So this is completely contrary to the mainstream medicine where they, push more protein, take some dairy products, and they make you also stop having any raw food, and all these were quite different, huh?
Absolutely. But we need to understand, Dr. Rupa, I'm sure you will also agree with me that body cannot process so much of protein at that time when you're going through chemo. How the hell can you take out a protein? And the best protein to have is your natural foods, which is enough. I know that people lose weight and people obviously get concerned while chemotherapy, because even I lost a lot of weight, but I gained also. But that's okay. The body goes through a transition. Just accept it. But don't just put synthetic. Lot of doctors suggest synthetic protein powders and these powders, and eat eggs,
Yes.
and also a lot of like your other medicines. I swear I didn't take any much of supplements, like the synthetic supplements, or even took those paracetamol or any digestion tablets also they gave me. I didn't have the need to take it,
How
the
early did
Digene and
you
all.
how early did you spot that now you are recovering beautifully? At what point you
I
felt that
was
now you'll come out of it?
I think the PET scan report was I insisted my doctor that usually they do after the 6 chemos, but I insisted that I want to do it after the fourth chemos, because I felt that I'm recovering really good, and I don't know, some intuition in me was telling me that just ask the doctor what's the harm, and I really didn't want to take more chemotherapy and all. So I think something, maybe it was uh, some sort of signals my body was giving me, or anything, the intuition was so strong that I went for opted for that PET scan, and then I was very very confident, like
Right.
wow, फोर्थ कीमो में इतना हो गया तो फिर तो रेडिएशन और इस सब की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. I really didn't wanted to take radiation, so I was keeping mum, because if you tell the doctors that time, they will that like completely not agree with you. But I had decided that I will reduce the doses and I am going to go on. Though I still wish that I would, I didn't really took that whole chemotherapy, but now, but the radiation, I'm so glad that I refused.
Wonderful. I know patients come to us and they are, I just tell them take best of everything right now, whatever is available. Till, if you want to take chemo, I'll support you. If you have to
Right,
take radio, I'll support you. Just
right.
don't worry about anything. Your body will regenerate all the cells again and it will all happen nicely.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And the best part was, the recovery, as you were mentioning. So during chemotherapy, what happens that the doctors say that obviously I was in ovulating age, so I stopped
Mm.
having my ovulation that
Mm.
period, and they started me on like a hormone replacement pill also. But after taking that hormone replacement pill once or twice, I started getting a lot of breakouts, and I refused that also, because I didn't wanted more chemical explosion happening. So the doctor said that we don't know whether we'll be able to save your ovaries, or whether you will get periods again or not, because the side effect of chemotherapy. But after 6 months of the period of the treatment stopped, I again got my periods, and I was so happy that this is amazing recovery again.
Yes, yes. I think we should never give up,
Yes, absolutely.
never lose hope. And there is,
Absolutely. Yes.
Can I ask?
now, now that you have found a new life, let me ask you one more question.
Yes.
Were you into the kitchen cooking ever before this?
No. No. I was not. I didn't make this relationship with my food. I was all dependent on the maids who were cooking. Though sometimes enjoyed making baked dishes and baked dish with cheeses and all, but not like that. Like when I get up now and I look forward to making few things like smoothies and salads and raw food and everything, and I know what it does to your body. So yeah, I was never in the kitchen before.
Nandita, you want to ask something?
Yes, there is a question from Survi Gupta
Hmm.
that, to Shruti, that did you include plant-based proteins in your diet at any stage?
Not at the time of chemotherapy, no.
Okay, all right.
Never, never actually, never you used protein
Now
powder.
I take sometimes because I'm building on muscles, but completely.
Now, but not during that time.
No, 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 no. I didn't.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I knew that my digestive system won't take it too much of
Hmm.
protein. It will not process. I'm not exercising too much. If I was just doing a bit of pranayam, I'm not moving much. Excess of protein, how will the body process it? No.
Mhm.
So the
Okay.
protein all comes from my beans and all my plants. So you
Natural.
don't need to have those extra protein.
Trusting our
Okay,
body
I
to
have another
heal.
question.
Yeah. Go on, Nandita.
Yeah, Shruti, in one of your other interviews, I remember you sharing something that I found very interesting, and I wanted you to share that again on this platform. You mentioned that you were going through emotional upheavals, and those were probably triggered the onset of cancer in your body. Do you agree with that right now? Would you agree with it?
Of course, I would. 100%. I think what happens is when you're emotionally down and you're depressed and you are, at this, in this environment where love and gratitude and happiness is not there. So your body goes through your cortisol levels obviously are high, and then they trigger your body's response of responding to any disease. Your genetic, the genes also, I mean, each cell of our body listens to what we say. And if you say that I'm sad and I'm going through this, and I'm really not, you're not in best of your health, not mentally, you're not positive, you're not even having this lovingness in your heart. So what will the cells, uh, how will the cells respond? It is as simple as, I like to quote this simple experiment which these people had done with water as well. So they took two flasks of water. One flask was kept in an environment of darkness, and every day that water was given bad words and all. And one was kept in the sunlight, and they were saying very good words, mantras and all that. So after those, after few days, those, the molecules were tested. So that molecules of those two different flasks was so unimaginably different. One was, they were completely, if the oxygen level was down, one was thriving. They could give the plant, even they gave the water to same plants. So that water which had good mantras and good environment, the plant thrived, and the other water they gave to that plant, and that plant died. So imagine the kind of thought, our the thoughts we think have effect on our body, 101%. So for me, it was my emotional, when I was very emotionally down, that also might have triggered the disease to actually thrive in my body.
All right. And this is followed by my next question that
Yeah.
you saw your report, and when you discovered that you had a cancer, that created a complete shift in your system. So, what is your message to other people who want to can such shifts towards a plant-based system and towards a complete 360-degree spectrum, can it be made without such radical news or such upheavals? Do you think that shifts can be made in an
You
easy?
mean before, I mean, not go to the level of getting the diagnosis,
Yes,
like shift before? Of course, like this onset of corona has taught us so much that nutrition and what are we doing to our bodies. And I've seen people who are not healthy, like people who have absolutely unhealthy lifestyles, are getting more prone to, are getting corona more. And the people who are healthy, who are confident in them, in themselves, and they take care of themselves, they are not really worried about it, and it's just a virus. So right now it's like the survival of the fittest, and if we can not wait for something drastic like cancer to happen and open our eyes right now, we all need to open our eyes and see, oh god, what have we been doing wrong the last 100 years? What were our ancestors doing, and what are we doing? We've destroyed our planet, we've destroyed the food system, we destroyed our bodies. So it is time, and I see so many young people eating so much of processed food, and now eating so much of colas and just having this bad lifestyle, and sitting at home and working, they're getting more depressed and more fatter. It is for us now to take a step back and understand that there is something called nutrition for your body, nutrition for your soul, nutrition for the environment. And we should all un- make ourselves gain knowledge as to what, I'm not saying just plant based, but just gain knowledge and have a different perspective as to how you can change your inner and outer environment.
okay. Wow, thanks. And there is a follow-up question by Surbhi Gupta that what diet and lifestyle changes take to cure yourself from cancer?
As we are always we are talking about plant-based diet, so absolutely plant-based diet. I also would suggest a lot of detoxification and fasting protocols. I do intermittent fasting and also water fasting, and sometimes juice fasting, so I give my body rest so that the digestive system gets some time off, and autophagy happens. And also taking certain, adding certain herbs in your daily routine, like turmeric is an excellent herb, cinnamon, and garlic, and all these anti-inflammatory herbs which are there in our kitchen. We really don't need to have go out and fetch something. So all these herbs, plus going out in the sun, doing pranayams. So this is like a complete holistic life one needs to shift on to just water for any kind of disease or lifestyle diseases.
There's one more question, Nandita.
I'm checking.
Yeah.
I think that was the last question.
Okay. So I wanted to ask Shruti that now, once having transcended such a big disease, how do you know, foresee the future for you,
For myself or for
for yourself?
um I definitely, as want to go deeper and deeper into natural living. I want to. As I told you, I'm also going to be a yoga teacher very soon, and more and more. I mean, the thirst is just not getting over. I want to learn more about concepts of different, more about raw vegan, and just not stop. And also, as we have started my new wellness company called Anaha, which means living in health. Through that, we want to help as many people as we can, and which, as many cancer patients as can I, as much knowledge I can spread, as much, I want to bring different aspects of health in Anaha and help people holistically, basically, as I was talking, not only nutrition, but through mindfulness, through yoga, through natural living, and through sustainability. So that's what I have learned, and that's what made a difference in my life, and I hope I can create a difference in others' life as well.
Wonderful. And now I can see that you're full of joy, excitement, and spirit, completely opposite to the state that was before.
Oh my God. I actually, this is a very good point. If you're not, health is only not nutrition, it is also the joyfulness. It is also how you feel every day. That is so important. So, very rightly, actually, you've pointed out that, you're full of happiness, joy, and that is one very, very important aspect of health.
So
Yeah.
each of us have our own purpose on this planet, and joyfulness is our essence. Living a life of compassion, connection, enthusiasm, celebrating our being, just the way all the animals on this planet also celebrate with the
Yes.
same joy and enthusiasm. That is our message, of compassion. Tomorrow is a World Vegan Day. It's a World Vegan Day. People, vegans from all over the world are going to celebrate this, and when all the animals on this planet will feel safe and feel happy, just like how we desire this happiness, that is the
Absolutely.
day, we feel that our work is done. Until then, you, Shruti, me, we all have to go on and keep talking and keep spreading the message, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, exactly.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Shruti. We're just kind of
Thank
running
you
out
to
of
Dr.
time.
Rupa Shah. It was always a pleasure to, have the same platform as you, because I learn every time the way you speak, the person you are. You are so compassionate towards everyone. It is just amazing. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. We all live compassion. That's it. Thank you very much, Shruti.
Thank you. Thank you so much.